So you're all right, Rob. So welcome to the Cycle Talk Northeast channel. Do you want to tell the viewers a bit about yourself?
Hi, you alright? Yeah, so I'm Rob Scott. I ride for Canyon DHB SunGod for the last 2 years. Rode for Team Wiggins for 3 years when I stepped up from being a junior. And I live in Yorkshire near Halifax, so plenty of good training roads around me. So yeah, just cracking on with training at the minute. Hopefully we're going to get some more, good races coming up, because it's been quite quiet recently, hasn't it, for everyone?
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that's me. Still at it with Canyon. Still trying to make it to, like everyone, to the world tour. So we'll see what happens.
So obviously you mentioned there that this year there's not been much racing, but how's that impacted you, COVID and everything, with all the lockdowns?
Yeah, so last year when obviously all the races got cancelled and lockdown first, got into full swing, it was really hard to keep on, with training, because mentally, when you've not got anything to train for, like me especially, I know some people are different, but I really struggle to train if I've not got a goal at the end of it. So I remember last year when lockdown started, I don't think I rode my bike for about 3 weeks, because we just knew that racing wasn't going to be on for a good 4 or 5 months. But once we got some races back on the calendar, obviously you get back into it. And it was good last year that we managed to get some races towards the end of the year. But this year it's been quite different. We've started off. Simon, our DS, has managed to get us into some good races abroad, but they're all quite sort of high level ones. So it's good to do them, but then at the same time, they are very competitive. Where sometimes maybe you need to, especially for guys like us on Canyon, if we were to do say a bit of a lower level race, we could do a bit more, race it how we want to, rather than getting dictated to by the bigger teams. But saying that, it's really a good start to the year anyhow, with the races we've done. So things are looking up as well. We've got some more races in Belgium coming up, and then I think racing in the UK will start to pick up in a month or two. So yeah, things are looking up at the minute.
Yeah. As you say there, about goals and wanting to train for that goal and having something to focus on. Going back into racing this year, have you and the team got any goals in mind for you personally, or for the team as a whole?
Yeah, so ideally for myself, the aim is to win a UCI continental race. I've never actually won a UCI race, but they're the races that you need to be performing in, really, if you want to step up. And I think from the UK scene, I'd love to win a Prem again. They're such good races, good for the legs. But for me personally, I think the main goal is to win a UCI race. So maybe we'll get some more opportunities come the end of May, June time. But then with the team, we've got a really good set of lads this year. It's probably one of the strongest UK teams the UK's seen in a quite a long time, I think, personally. So it is quite competitive to even just get into races in our own team, because I think there's 17 or 18 riders, and obviously each race you can only have 7 or 8 guys. But I think the team's goal is just to carry on. Every year they've sort of steps up their level, and I think obviously we didn't do much racing last year, but the year they had in 2019, I think Tim and Simon just wants to improve on that, really, get some more UCI race wins, and see what the future holds for the team. Maybe potentially they'd step up one day. So yeah, it's all looking good at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the team, a lot of members have got the new bike. Have you got that yet, or is it just?
Yeah. So I got my. Well, obviously we've had all this palaver with the handlebars with Canyon.
Oh, yeah.
When Van der Poel broke his. So for the meantime, we've got some sort of like stock frames in from Canyon that they've sent us, and but yeah, they're mega. It's my first year riding on discs as well, and I was never really a like big believer in them. I just thought, like rim brakes do the job, but in the wet, definitely, the discs do help a lot. I do think a rim brake bike does look a lot nicer, but it's just the way the sport's going. But I do love riding it. It's probably the best bike I've ever ridden. Like comparing it to the Pinarello on Wiggins, like obviously both unreal bikes to ride, and I'm not one to say like, oh, this bike's better than that bike, or these wheels are better than those wheels, but it just feels like a solid bike to ride. So yeah, we're pretty lucky, I think, to be riding on Canyons again this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put the picture on the video so everyone can see. But it's the nice blue as well. It's a good colour. Like
yeah. The bikes that we're riding at the minute, which are sort of like just until this bar situation gets sorted out with Canyon. Obviously, it's like a bit of a different shade of blue to what the kit is, but I think it works quite well. Like it stands out a little bit more than if it was just like the same colourway as the team kit. And everyone seems to love them, like what I've seen on the team's like Instagram page and stuff. So yeah, it's positive.
There's a lot on social media about them now. They're going. I mean, I've seen about 4 posts about them today just alone. They do look incredible.
Yeah.
And on the subject
go on.
So, no, sorry.
No, I didn't really have much to say.
I mean, on the subject of disc brakes versus rim brakes, well, there's an idea, isn't it? I mean, I'm still on rim brakes, so Ben, you'll have to get your winter bike back out. Me versus you, we'll see whose brakes are better.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, it's the tyres doing the stopping power, isn't it?
Yeah. So, obviously, looking back over like the last 5 years, you've ridden from like 2016 up to like now with like different teams in like junior and under 23. Which race or achievement like was probably your favourite that you'll look back on like in future years?
It's probably, I mean, the standout one's probably got to be getting the under 23 national champs at Beaumont in 2018. That was because I set that goal out at the start of the year. It's just like one of those classic goals where in the back of your mind you think you can do it, but then you've got that little voice in your head saying you probably can't at the same time. So, but that was one of those races that just went like absolutely perfect. Nothing went wrong. But you just need that sometimes, don't you, in races like that. But in terms of my like development, like when I stepped up from being a junior, my first year under 23 wasn't anything special really. It was just like learning the ropes, riding bigger, like newer races. And then it was really when I second year under 23 forwards was when I started like picking up a few results. I got fourth in the under 23 Ghent World game. That was a big goal of mine, but I'm sure a few people will probably tell you that I messed up big time in like the last 5k, but is what it is. So but no, yeah, it was great few years on Wiggins. Like really good sort of like development structure, good races, good staff, and like a great bunch of lads as well. Shame for it to end, but I think potentially I would have been leaving that year anyway. So, but Canyon's a great setup as well, and it's a really good spot to like carry on developing and hopefully like take that step up. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, talking about like the types of races that you're doing, obviously you mentioned Game Weathergale, and like obviously the Tour de Yorkshire. You were in the which jersey was it?
Yeah, so I got the KOM jersey. I didn't win it overall, but on the third day, I think it finished in, it was either Scarborough or Bridlington. Got in the break that day, mopped up all the KOMs. That was a savage day out. That really windy.
I think and I remember thinking, oh, God,
it was good though. We managed to. I remember when the break was just about to get caught, and I knew we were about to turn left onto this moor, and it would have been like I think it was like a left to right crosswind, and I just knew I had to get to that moor before the bunch caught me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have lasted long. But it had already split by the time the bunch got to me, so I managed to just sort of get carried to the finish. Nice easy ride back home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't manage to keep that jersey on the last day. I was absolutely, I was just gone. No legs. Yeah. So, but that was another great race for Wiggins. Like, it sounds weird. I always think of 2019 now to be sort of like last year, but it's like 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, so obviously you've raced like all over like Britain, and you've done races on the continent as well. Which place do you reckon would be your favourite like country, or just like place in a country that you've like ever raced or like done a training camp at?
So my favourite ever place got to be a place called Menton in like the south of France. Spent quite a bit of time there with Jacques Sauvignaga. Down there like in the winter. I think it was the like 2017 2018 winter, and then 2018 2019 winter that we went over there for pretty much the whole like duration of winter. And it was it's just so good for like training around there. You've got long climbs. Obviously it's on like the coast, so if you want to go and find some flat, you either got to ride along the coast or go over the mountain. And then actually, as you get inland a little bit more, it does get a little bit flatter, but it's got everything you need around there. Hence why you've got a lot of like World Tour guys that live there. So that's definitely my favourite like training place. My favourite race is probably like the Baby Giro or like Tour de l'Avenir. Like both like similar races, but you know, like you just get to see some like great places while you're like on tour with like the team. Obviously the additions that I did were very, very hilly, so it's quite hard for me, but but it was nice. The scenery was nice at least.
I mean, like a bit of a different direction here, but like me and Patrick were discussing earlier about like on-ride snacks and like what we take on a ride. So like, what would you like take on a ride, like a big 4 or 5 hour day? What would you normally like take and eat?
So at the minute I'm like smashing through like some OTE stuff that the team's got me. That stuff's mega, like the duo bars. It's quite hard to not just like nibble on them at home, because they're quite like you know, there's like squares bars that you get in the supermarket.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. Just really, really nice. So at the minute I'm like smashing through those like duo bars. We have like Saurine as well on the team. I love that stuff. But like normally, like say I've not got much like product in from a company, I'll just like make my own like flapjacks or something. Like they'll do the job, put them in a little plastic bag. But I've started eating like a lot more on the bike recently. I never used to like eat that much, but it's definitely like stepped my training up a little bit. Just making sure that you're fueled all the time, even towards the end of your ride. I think being like a little bit younger, you can be a little bit like naive about eating on the bike, and maybe not bonking after every ride, but you're probably not getting out as much like quality as you want to be doing out of the session.
Yeah.
But I tend to stay away from like energy drinks. Just have water. Bad for your teeth.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Ben, I'm pretty sure we're still at that stage where we're just going out and bonking anyway. But like, hey ho.
Anyway.
There's no better feeling though, is the bonking and getting back and just scranning everything in the cupboards.
Yeah.
Having an excuse.
Everything tastes 10 times nicer.
Yeah.
It does.
I'm hoping that the stuff that you've mentioned there are sold in like some other countries on our watch list, because we've got 30% of our viewers are from different countries. So I don't know how far Soreen goes.
Yeah. Sorene's been around a bit, hasn't it? Like for a good few years. You get in most supermarkets. You can't beat it. Just like a loaf of Sorene in the back pocket for like 4 or 5 hours. Just keep nibbling at it like throughout the ride.
Yeah. So
I mean,
go on.
I was just, obviously you've obviously said your advice about fueling for a ride, but like what other advice would you give to like younger riders trying to break through after junior and stuff like that?
There's one thing I'd say is probably like, just sounds a bit cliche, but like enjoy it while you can, and not stress about stuff too much. I think that's something that I used to do. Like I still do it like now, obviously. It's like human nature to just stress about stuff that you care about. But I think the main thing I'd say is just to like make sure that you're having fun. You know, if you're getting up in the morning and thinking like, oh, I should be doing like 4 or 5 hours today, and like the pouring rain, absolutely freezing, and it's all right if you've got like the motivation to do that in the morning, go out and do it. That's fine, but there's no point beating yourself like up about it. You may as well just, I mean, I don't know whether this sounds bad, but you may as well just go and play some Warzone or something, and you know, go again the next day. But yeah, like just make sure you have fun. Obviously, still work hard, and because that's the only way you're gonna get anywhere, really. But yeah, I think for some guys, I think the fun can sometimes go out of it, and that's when you start to, you know, like fall out of love with the sport a little bit.
So finally, obviously, you said about when you've bonked and got home, everything in the cupboard tastes 10 times better. But I mean, in terms of off the bike meals, what's like a fat meal that you can always get down with?
Probably, I mean, my go-to snack is probably a massive bowl of crunchy nut. Like that stuff, I've been through a lot of crunchy nut in my time. It's quite bad, but in terms of like a meal, probably just like a nice Chinese. Can't go wrong with that, can you?
No, not really.
But try and stay away from that recently. But yeah, crunchy nuts definitely the go-to.
Aye.
I'll probably have some after dinner.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming on the channel, Rob. So that's the end of the questions we've got for you. And for all you guys at home, just don't forget to hit that like button, share, subscribe, comment down below if you like the video, and yeah, maybe share with a few friends. Put on the find the notification bell, press that. But yeah, thanks for joining us on Cycle Talk Northeast. See you next time.
See you guys.
Cheers.